Sound good? Okay. All right, so to wrap up the morning, I'd like to invite Governor Kate Brown to the stage to reflect on the plan. And Governor Brown has been in office since 2015 and is now completing the end of her term in office. Fair to say she's governed our state through arguably the most challenging time in our state's history. Please welcome to the stage Governor Kate Brown.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Delighted to be here.
Good, thank you.
Love the collective effervescence of the crowd.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. A little more, spread out. They're hanging in there because we're between them and lunch.
I understand.
Yeah.
Did they know we were going to do a plank contest?
I'm in right now. You want to go?
No.
Okay. I mean, I'd do
My
it.
staff would kill me.
Well, okay. Well, we don't want that to happen.
Besides, you don't want me to beat you.
Oh, really? All right. That's fair. I think we should do that someday, though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
fair.
in.
All right. You ready to chat?
But no pointy-toed shoes then.
That would be hard.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, we'll come more prepared next time.
Okay.
All right. So, pandemic. It's been a challenge, but our health outcomes are pretty good. We have the 6th lowest COVID death rate. We've been among the best in the country. We've been among the best in the country, and thousands of lives have been saved. So what have we done right? Maybe what could we have done better? I'm sure you've thought about that.
Absolutely.
And on a personal level, how you doing?
So I have to say, Oregonians, including our business community, have really stepped up and taken these safety measures very, very seriously. And we do that as Oregonians because we want to protect our vulnerable community members, our families, and ourselves. And I am incredibly proud of the work that Oregonians have done, that the business community has done in collaboration with my office to save lives. We saved thousands of lives. As you said, we have one of the lowest mortality rates, one of the lowest infection rates in the country. That's after Delta. We have a new variant in town. We don't have a lot of information about it yet. You'll see more information over the next 2 to 4 weeks. The good news is that the safety measures that we have deployed are useful during the next variant, and that is getting vaccinated, getting boosted if you haven't. For those of you who are a little past 6 months from your Moderna or Pfizer, now's the time. Or if you're a little past your Johnson & Johnson at 2 months, now's the time. And getting our kids vaccinated. And our numbers in terms of vaccination across the country are stellar. We're 18th in the country in terms of vaccination rates, first shot in arms, which is really, really good. In terms of what we did right, it was about partnerships, collaboration at the local level, at the state level. It was businesses stepping up and doing the right thing. I know it was incredibly hard, particularly for our small businesses throughout the state. What we did wrong, I think it's so incredibly important as we move forward in this state and across the country that we center the voices of our Black, our Brown, and our Indigenous community members in our work, not just in health equity, but across the board in our policies, our institution, and our culture. And we missed that boat during the pandemic. There's no question about it. We saw the impact of the pandemic on our Latino, Latina, Latinx community members, and it was devastating. And we have to change that. And I'm absolutely committed to doing that in my work through the Racial Justice Council. In terms of me, I'm a lean, mean fighting machine, Jeff, and we're going to keep moving forward. I just have to say, there are businesses that are working collaboratively in the region, across the state, to keep their customers, their clients safe. I know these are very difficult times. I just really appreciate the business community's leadership on these issues.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, it's been quite a challenging couple of years for everybody. All right, so let's move off pandemic topic and let's maybe we talk about workforce. And we have heard about the opportunity to strengthen the workforce investments in Oregon, and maybe give us a little insight to your plans.
So I know that you just heard from Patsy Richards and the team. I'm really, really excited about our work. I think it's absolutely imperative that we keep racial justice at the forefront of our recovery efforts, and that particularly is around workforce training. I'm really pleased to see the Racial Justice Council stepping up and leading this work, led by Patsy and Marin Ariola, and very excited about the package that's being put together. It's a $200 million package. And the goal is to make sure that we remove barriers, that we provide support and services, wraparound services, particularly for folks in our historically underserved communities, folks who are coming out of prison, young people who are disconnected. We have to make sure their voices are at the forefront of this work. And that really means approaching this from the ground up, as opposed to the top down. It means working regionally, and it means we're going to have to continue to collaborate with our business community partners. And I just have to say to the business community, all of you, we need your help to get the package past this legislative session. It will be up in February of 2022. So I encourage you to call your legislators and say, yes, we can do this, and we should. The opportunities are enormous. I also think it's really important for business community members. I hear from everyone. Obviously, hiring folks right now is a challenge across a number of different sectors. I encourage you to reach out to a number of organizations that are doing this work, from our Constructing Hope, if you're in construction, to Oregon Tradeswomen. There's a number of organizations that are providing the support and services to train people so that we have a more diverse, qualified workforce. Our focus of the package is 3 areas. 1, healthcare, for obvious reasons. It's so incredibly important post-pandemic, post the death of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, that we diversify our healthcare workforce. It's like the efforts that are happening. I happened to tour a number of vaccine clinics, but one in Forest Grove with Adelante Mujeres, and they had promotores, mostly Latino women, Latinas, going out, knocking on doors, essentially serving as community health workers in that community to provide information and education and access regarding vaccines. It would be great for these folks to be able to move up in the healthcare career pipeline if they choose to do that. And we have to make sure that it's accessible, both in terms of affordability and location, but also that they have access to the childcare and, of course, transportation that they need to be successful. So we need the business community's partnership for all of this to be successful. Our opportunities around manufacturing are extraordinary. With the federal resources coming in, this is a moment we can't afford to waste.
Absolutely, absolutely. A common theme of the morning, so thank you for reinforcing that.
Of course.
All right, so in a little bit of time we have left here, we're focusing our business plan on 2030 and really the decade ahead, and have talked a lot about business plan and about shared prosperity. But if you look ahead to Oregon in 2030 and you think about that 9 years ahead of us, what would look different?
I just have to say, again, in terms of racial justice and racial equity, that it's incredibly important that all of our businesses step up, and I know folks are stepping up like you in extraordinary ways, and I appreciate your leadership on the Racial Justice Council. This is not just E&I work. This is literally culture change, and we all have to be committed to it. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're seeing the impacts of climate change, not just in Oregon, but across the entire world. And it is hurting our economy, and it's so key that we move forward on the actions that we're taking already. But we do need the business community's support, and I just want to highlight the efforts of folks like Maria Pope at PGE and Daimler, their work to create Electric Island, which is literally one of the first public commercial charging stations on the entire I-5 corridor. It's really extraordinary. We need more of that. The third piece, my 1, 2, 3, housing. This is a struggle for Oregon. The entire western region is struggling with housing. We know we don't have enough units. Every Oregonian deserves a warm, safe, dry, affordable, and accessible place to call home. And I'm really pleased with the legislature that has stepped up on a bipartisan basis over the last year and a half to help our renters. I'm really, really proud of our landlords that are being generous and patient in this work. We are coming together, I hope, I'm optimistic, around a package for next week that will enable us to keep Oregonians in their homes. But this is a huge challenge for Oregon. Since I've become governor, we've spent roughly $1.5 billion on affordable housing, rental assistance, and homelessness prevention. It feels and it looks like this has been a drop in the bucket. And so we have to continue to make these significant investments. We have to make sure that the policies that we've implemented are working, and if they're not, we have to change them and move quickly. But every Oregonian deserves a place to call home, and we have to make that happen. And we can't do it, frankly, without the business community. So I know that by working together, we can build a safer, stronger, more just, and equitable Oregon. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate the efforts of OBC. I love the plan, really excited about the metrics. Let's do this together. Let's build a better Oregon.
Appreciate it. Governor Brown, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you know one thing about Governor Brown is that she is a tireless, just by the plank challenge alone, she will work to the end, and we know you'll take it all the way to the end of next year. So thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And have a great holiday.
Thank you. You too.